Now, we have seen a strong criticism of the Triple Talaq bill, but what exactly is it? The Muslim Women Protection of Rights on Marriage Bill 2019. That's what the Triple Talaq bill is called. It seeks to replace an ordinance brought in during the month of February this year. Here's what the bill aims to achieve. 1. Make instant Triple Talaq a criminal offence, and that includes the declaration of Triple Talaq in written or electronic form of instant Triple Talaq. 2. Make the offence punishable with a jail term of 3 years for the convicted. Question is it really needed? Discrimination of women happens in most religions, but the practice of Triple Talaq has no place in the modern world. In fact, several Muslim majority countries have laws against such a practice. India too has now taken notice of this discriminatory patriarchal practice recently. 2 years ago, the Supreme Court of India even declared the practice unconstitutional. The Union government under Prime Minister Modi followed the Supreme Court order with a bill. This bill was introduced and passed in the Lok Sabha 2 years ago, but it could not stand the test of the upper house, the Rajya Sabha. With the dissolution of the 16th Lok Sabha, the bill has also got lapsed. Now, the Modi government will have no problem in getting the bill through the Lok Sabha, but it is the Rajya Sabha that remains as a big hurdle. In September 2018, the government took the ordinance route to promulgate this bill. The BJP even highlighted the bill to demonstrate their commitment to gender equality in Muslim women. But till the BJP gets the majority in the Rajya Sabha or the upper house of the Indian Parliament, this bill is unlikely to be passed. Here are the 4 major contentious issues about this bill as of now. 1. Is this legislation pointed at one community, the Muslims, even though deserting wives is not unique for Muslims alone? 2. Does this bill conflate or combine civil and criminal laws? 3. Is the punishment of a 3-year jail term discriminatory? 4. Who pays for the wife's livelihood if the husband gets arrested? Now, all these major issues to debate on, but the government stance is also with justifications. There's no room for such a practice in the modern world. Though religions are controlled by community-specific laws, the government cannot turn a blind eye to a practice such as this. India is a constitutional democracy, and the Constitution enshrines the equality clause among the people of the country. How then can one gender in a specific community be targeted with such a barbaric practice? We leave that question for you to think about. But we move on the show. Yesterday, we told you about reports of a possible cap on the H-1B visas. We told you how it could have an adverse impact on India and its IT sector. Now, India can have a huge sigh of relief. US State Department has said that it's not considering a cap on the H-1B visas. State Department spokesperson said, and I quote him over here, the US has no plans to place caps on H-1B visas for nations that force foreign companies to store data locally. The US spokesperson also clarified that the Trump administration has called for a broad review of US worker visa programs, and it's not specifically targeting any particular country. Now, H-1B visas allow temporary employment of workers in the US-based firms. While it is a temporary visa, it often becomes a route to acquire a green card, and that has provoked opposition over the last few years. Trump, in particular, wants to keep a check on the migration of workers. His poll pitch was to bring these jobs back to the citizens of the US. Since the year 2017, the US has scrutinized the H-1B visa program. Several Indian companies which run operations G20 summit in Japan. Away from H-1B visas to the latest on the Jet Airways case, the insolvency saga. The National Company Law Tribunal, NCLT, admitted insolvency proceedings against Jet Airways. The petition was filed by lenders in an attempt to salvage at least some of their ownership in the airline. So what happens next? The insolvency process will now allow lenders like the State Bank of India to sell the company. The sale can happen in whole or in parts. Now, the NCLT, National Company Law Tribunal, has asked the Insolvency Resolution Professional, or IRP, to finish the whole process within 3 months. The urgency from NCLT is justified because the issue is of national importance. Now, the IRP has to provide a progress report on the issue to the tribunal, the National Company Law Tribunal, for every 15 days. Now, this ends any hopes of a recovery for Jet Airways. The pilots' union